Hi, I am Kajer on Two Wheels, and today we will be test riding the Kawasaki Versys 1000, the new one for 2019. It's not going to be me doing the walk around, it's going to be the dealer himself in Portuguese. I'll add some subtitles. É o teu show, força.
O meu nome é Filipe Martins, da Ramo Moto. Entretanto temos aqui a nova Versys 1000. Esta versão é a mais completa, é a Versys 1000 Special Edition. Neste modelo já temos a suspensão eletrónica, a corner lights.
Espera aí, deixa-me mostrar as corner lights. Isto!
Exatamente.
Ok.
Já temos também os freios auxiliares. Temos então Quick Shift também, que dá para meter e tirar mudanças sem embreagem. Já faz up and down. Temos então o painel de instrumentos também a cores, onde tem vários modos de condução pré-definidos. O painel de instrumentos é possível emparelhar com o telefone através de uma aplicação, onde mesmo no telefone todas as opções que temos neste painel de instrumentos podemos em casa confortavelmente preparar a moto para uma viagem ou para o dia seguinte, estando a chover, não estando, mediante as condições atmosféricas ou mediante a estrada que formos fazer.
Certo.
A parte no rain, modo chuva, automaticamente ele adapta o controle de tração, o mapa de potência e a suspensão a esse modo. Depois temos o modo road, temos o modo sport e temos o modo rider. O modo rider é completamente configurável em termos de mapa de potência. Temos também controle de tração completamente configurável. O tipo de suspensão, então, se queremos ou seja, soft, normal ou um pouquinho mais esportiva. E podemos alterar a suspensão da frente ou de trás com a compressão e descompressão. É bastante completo, é completamente configurável. Além disso, podemos também, só mais este, tem muito mais coisas, mas podemos também aqui escolher como é que andamos com a moto. Podemos andar sozinho ou com bagagem. E aqui também podemos dizer à moto que andamos então com condutor, passageiro e andamos também com bagagem. E ela também adapta-se automaticamente a esta informação. Já possui um sistema inteligente de travagem também. Sabe em 6 eixos qual é a posição da moto, daí tenta gerir a travagem. Podemos medir o ângulo de inclinação que vamos utilizar, que estamos a fazer, que vamos fazer na estrada, e ela grava os ângulos de inclinação máximos e mínimos. Agora só mesmo andando e tirar partido deste novo modelo e depois aproveitar ao máximo.
Certo. Então vamos lá. So here we are, the extended test track. Because this bike needs an extended test drive. First things first, we are in sport mode, which unlocks everything. Rider mode would allow me to configure this the way I want it, but I want to show you how the bike deals with sport. It's funny because in sport the bike is more nervous at high speeds, so it changes suspension settings too. I'm sure of it because I tried sport, I tried full acceleration on the highway, and it was transformed from the road going part at the same speeds. The bike was more nervous. I wouldn't call it unstable, but it was moving around a lot more and it felt more flickable, so it changed something in the suspension settings, which is awesome. Also, I changed the amount of people on it, told it it's just me, not me plus luggage, the way it was. So now it is configured correctly. About this bike, and I've tried to put some subtitles on the dealer showing you what this bike has. Basically, the way it goes, when you go into the list of optionals, you go to, say, the engineer and say, okay, so what optionals shall we give the new Versys? And the engineer goes, optionals? The engineer asks this, and the manager says, optionals? What do you mean optionals? Engineer goes, I don't know, center stand, panniers, cases, electronics, ABS, stability control, lean corner ABS, active lights, active suspension, stuff like that. To which the manager answers, yes. And so this bike was born. It is literally that. It has everything. The list goes on and on and on and on, and I'm going to try and say it all in one go, and I am going to forget about half of it. So whatever I say now, it's just going to be about half of the stuff this bike has. Let me just overtake this one real quick. Whoa, nice! So, deep breath. Stability control, ABS, corner stability control, adaptive lights, adaptive suspension, selectable suspension, selectable traction control, selectable ECU map, Bluetooth app, windscreen, tail, top case, side case, center stands, and I forgot a lot of stuff, like, I don't know, these protectors, heated grips, cruise control, onboard computer. Jesus freaking Christ, this has everything. It's amazing. But then again, for the whopping 19,000 euro price, it better has. It also has something I'm very keen to try, not sure how. Oh, quick shift, up and down, look, no hands. Huh? Cool. So let's quick shift down and try 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, this is Kawasaki mode. I'm not going to touch the clutch the whole way up. That was a downshift with the quick shifter, just so lovely. And I have cars, so the brakes are amazing. That was just like one finger, a small touch with one finger, and it just stopped as if it had hit a wall. Now, I really wanted to do this corner fast, but I can't. That was a downshift. Again, no clutch. I'm not touching the clutch the whole way. You see how it did not like this. Quick shift is when you're driving quick. Jesus freaking Christ, this is insane. This is a 4-cylinder liter engine that puts out I don't know how much horsepower at the moment. I read it, but I forgot. I think it's 130. And it's just bloody amazing. It also has corner lean assist or something, or stability control. And I've felt it activate once on a very shifty turn. And on corner exit, the bike starts moving by itself. It's very weird. You feel the bike leaning more or less. It's weird. I haven't. Oh, there it goes. Feels kind of as if someone like a pillion moved the bike by itself. However, it is not nerve-wracking because it's basically a good movement. You feel the bike correcting itself, which is pretty freaking cool. I'm not sure what kind of magic there is here, but I felt that happen on a very shifty corner, which is over a crest, a left-hander over a crest with a very polished tarmac, very little grip, and with a couple of bumps. And midway through that corner, which I did about slightly too fast. I wasn't going fast, but I was going happy fast. And at that moment the bike went whoops. I felt it move around under me a bit, and it was weird. It was not the tires, the bike itself like straightened up and then went down. That was very weird. Cornering, that went way too fast. What can I say about cornering? Well, I can tell you one thing. I was distracted, going as fast as I can, relaxed. So there you go. Oh boy. I'm going to have to film this one at night too. Oh, it has adaptive suspension, so I'm going to change it into roads, which is very intuitive. You just press this button for down from sport to road, or from road to sport is the up one. Press and hold and it will change here. It also has a lean angle indicator, which is very cool, live, so you can look at this part, or you can now rewind and go check out my lean angles. It's very precise, it's pretty cool. So adaptive suspension, what is that? It means that now the bike is all stiff and stuff, and as the bike starts moving around because of bad pavement, it'll go soft. Here's doggy. Holy crap, that's amazing. Nothing's happening, and the bike was stiff as a rock back there. But here, the only bike where I felt this kind of performance from the suspension, where this very bumpy road is nothing, is fine, was the GS 1200. That was the only one that had this kind of performance, where it's smooth. It feels like the road is actually smooth, and I know it is not. I know this is a horrible, horrible, horrible pavement. I've said it many times, and here it's just perfectly fine. I could do a whole trip on that pavement, and I think that this would be the only bike where I would be happy to do a 400-kilometer trip on that kind of road surface. And on the twisties, it was rock freaking solid. Let's go back to Spore. Now, I'm not going to take out of Spore, so when I go back up on the Portuguese channel, I'm going to do that thing on the sport setting, and I'll see the difference. Can I go? Still haven't touched the clutch. I think might have touched it by accident a couple of times. It's like I always say, a bike with this price had better be freaking amazing, and honestly, it is. It's a 4-cylinder engine with all the good and bad of it. The good, it's just a huge unrelenting force forcing you to push forward. It's amazing. The only con of a 4-cylinder engine doesn't have that instant kick to the back, to your back when you accelerate, which frankly on a touring bike you really kind of don't want. Okay, you actually, for a big tour bike, which is what this is, you really want a soft and pliable bike. Oh, for crying out loud. No. Thing is, I've brought the panniers, so the bike is very wide, so if anything happens, I don't have the flexibility to just dodge immediately between the cars. Like with mine here, if I have to, I can just hug the divider and just go through the middle if something really bad happens. Okay, now I can. There's no one there. That felt ridiculous, but I could see this whole straight from back there, so I knew there was no one coming. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing most of the time, except for the times when I crash into a van. Just look how stable this is at higher speed cornering, and why is so much traffic today? Especially traffic going so slow, for Christ's sake. I'm going to have to turn around and do this again going up, but there's so much traffic up and down, it's ridiculous. Nope. Gonna have to turn around and go back up. Hopefully fast, so I can overtake this guy still here on this straightaway. I don't want to stall it now, so I use the clutch to shift down to first. Motherfucker. The front wanted to lift, and that was traction control kicking in. And again. No, that was not traction control, that was the shift lights, which is configurable also through the super intuitive configuration menu, which seriously, this onboard computer is more like a car than a bike. It's ridiculous. And you have an app, but now it's cornering. I'll talk about the rest later. Look how just stable it is. I'm going way faster than I should. And it's a tall leg bike, okay? So it's never supposed to be very stable, but it is. It's just awesome. Whoa! I just felt it doing that shimmy thing it likes to do. That was a bit scary now. that shimmy thing was that electronic stability control lean helper, whatever magic thing they call it. And they aren't actually easy on the acronyms, because the traction control, which should be just TC, is actually, what the hell, is actually called here KTRC, which is Kawasaki Traction Control. I half expected it to be KTRK, but whatever. Then there's KERS, KATRC. It's just a bunch of marketing mumbo jumbo, to be honest. Okay, it's traction control, which also works when leaned over and works differently when leaned over. Some kind of dynamic lean angle controller, which I have felt a couple of times. ABS, corner ABS, and active suspension, and all of this, which I believe that lean angle thingy uses the suspension and the ABS and the throttle control to push you towards the inside of the corner when it feels like you're going wide somehow with some computer magic. Yeah, this is not a bike for purists. No, it isn't. This is a bike for, I don't know, geeks. I love it. I love it. It's a very special one, but for this price it had better be. We're talking like some serious competition to the BMWs, and some very serious competition to, say, the equipment level is more like Goldwing, like, just lacks the GPS, for Christ's sake. Hey Smokey, move. Oh, am I going to have to overtake you here, uphill, in sport mode? That would be fun. Thank God, no. Okay. Holy, this is seriously impressive. Listen, even in sport mode, nothing much is happening. It's amazing. This is supposed to be horrible pavement, and yet in sport mode the front tries to lift a bit more. That's why it was so light on the highway, because when I accelerate full in sport, the front tends to lift. I'm not sure it's actually lifting off the ground, but it's nearly there. I guess traction control is allowing a little bit of lift on the front wheel, so it gets very nervous, which is a lot of fun, which is the whole point of sport. It's not a sport mode, it's more like a fun mode. There's also a rain mode, obviously. Whoa. That was me fudging it up. I'm not getting tired of this sound. I am not seriously getting tired of this sound. The exhaust sounds like nothing. You don't hear the exhaust, you just hear this wonderful admission sound, or air intake sound. Sorry, Portuguese word for intake is admission or admissão. Let's go again, downhill this time. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. 3, 2, 1, full throttle. Okay, that was 2 stages, low revs, it just went, and then at, I don't know, 6,000 RPM, it went crazy. Oh lordy, this is a very Kawasaki-ish engine. Let's see cornering downhill, how does this go? Look at the lean. So smooth upshifting on the corner, nothing happens, no clutch, and just a clear upshift like this. Huh? Awesome. I wonder if the bike feels that it's leaned over and then it doesn't cut so much, so it's faster. I know the bike has sensors for all 6 directions, okay? Acceleration, braking, leaning and turning, so it's 6 axis. Yeah, like the PlayStation controller. These brakes are just insane. The bike dives, but it's a very controls dive. These brakes very easily go to max brake force, and then it just stays there. It's so easy to do anything, really. Brake more. And that is a very tricky corner that cost nothing. Now this bike is 100%. Oh my lord, how nice is this? Just look at it. This is one special machine, and if you have money, you will not regret it. I really wish I had money, because I would buy this in a freaking heartbeat. Seriously, it is perfect. It's not kinda, no, this is perfect. It's astonishing. I was a bit sad at Kawasaki because they were getting left behind, because everything is a bit outdated with the rest of the range. The Versys, it's a great bike, but it's starting to feel outdated. The Versys 1000 felt very outdated. It was just, I don't know, like 10 years old. It needed a facelift, and this is not a facelift. This is a game changer. I have never ridden anything quite like this. It's a heavy bike, but it feels like the Versys 650 in terms of moving around. It's much lighter. It just feels like a fat 600cc bike. It's awesome. It's very easy to ride. You only really feel the weight when you're nearly stopped, and even so it's manageable. It's not oil tanker like a Super Tenere or a GS 1200. It brakes insanely well. It goes very well. It corners like a dream. It's just not really made for off-roading. It can do bad pavement at in an amazing way, but I don't think off-road it is. This is so intuitive. It has cruise control, which is very easy to set up. It's these three buttons. It's just like a car cruise control. You press it here to set. I wonder if I can do it here. No, I can't. The speed. Oh, it can? No way. I turned it on. No, it doesn't let me set, obviously, because in third gear it shouldn't. But it's so easy to set up. Everything here works correctly. Let's change here, lean angle. Maximum 40 degrees to one side, 41 to the other. On a 19,000 euro bike that I do not know, that I cannot afford to repair, coming from a dealership where I already destroyed one bike, so if I do anything to this one, they will hang me or put my head on a spike at the entrance. And even with all that, 40 degrees to the left, 41 to the right. This is not a good bike. This is a very, very special machine, and it has literally everything that you can possibly imagine. Look at this. It's absolutely freaking ridiculous. What? Oh, and you haven't seen one, which is this one, CL. CL means something lighting, like dynamic lighting or something. It's the bank of LEDs on the sides. They light up as you lean the bike. I will be showing you now. Okay, so there's that. There's also this menu, which is here, I think. Press here, and you have this menu where you can have vehicle settings, like change the display. Oh, I don't like the mode. Let's go into type 2, which is like this. That's it. Now go back. It's left and right, select and cancel, up, down. It's just so freaking easy. Bluetooth, yes, you have the app, which will tell you where you are, the rides you did. You can set up the bike from your cell phone with this, instead of just going through the menu or through the KTRC, which is like the driver modes, vehicle settings. What you have here in vehicle setting, you have shift lamp on, the engine speed for the shift lamp, load adjustment, which means how many people are on board. Even with the settings, you may say, no, I'm a bit of a fat guy, so let's put load adjustment at +1 because I'm fat. KQS, don't know what that is. Cornering lights, it says off, but it's actually always on. You can't turn it off. Immobilizer lamp on, rider mode on. Rider mode is this driver mode, so you can just keep it on the stock settings, or you can, whoa, that looks pretty freaking cool. Oh, cool, brake and throttle and lean. Oh, I'll leave it on this one. I should have left on this one. That was a very cool thing to do. So sport, roads, then you can come down to rain, and then down again, and you got rider. And in rider, you can then change a lot of stuff, which I think is like select. Then you can select what you want. Power, full or low. KTRC, KEX, which is I think the suspension settings, hard, normal and soft. There's a lot of stuff here. This is a pretty freaking cool bike. If you're on the fence to buy it, buy it. You're not going to regret it. Oh, another thing I forgot. Regenerative painting. So supposedly if you scratch it, the paint will regenerate itself. So without further ado, no, I'm not gonna do it. Are you crazy? But yeah, the paint is some nanotech magic which fixes itself of small scuffs. It's not going to fix on a big dent, but I say the scuffs from your gear rubbing it will probably fix itself with a bit of heat or something. It's magic, and I would really like to know more about it, but that's it. The Kawasaki Versys 1000. SE, this is the SE version, which has everything. They even has an accessory thingy. They just went completely overboard on this one. That's it. Cage out.